especially from here down. Remember, it's sticking out too far. I may have to even pull the whole doorstop off. I don't know. Whatever I have to do. Now see, that's why I want to check all these things first before painting, you know, and making sure that all the doors are adjusted and all that kind of stuff. And see, this handrail, I'll look at that and I'll end up taking that off before I paint it. I don't know what all I'm going to do over here other than a few things, but see, here's a crack. Here's a crack in the sheetrock wall right there. I'll have to take that out, you know, cut out the pucker and stuff and put some webbing tape, put some sheetrock quick set, 2 layers of quick set, and a layer of topping mud and sanding it, and then spray texturing that. I'm going to have to spray texture this little area and try to blend it into the existing wall before painting. See, before painting, I'll take off all the cover plates. I'll take off the light wall sconces. I'll probably have to take this off. This is the thermostat. I'll probably have to do that because we're going to end up getting a new thermostat. The electrical company, did you know most electrical companies will replace your thermostats for free? Well, they did our house. We just called them up. They said, oh yeah, sure, we can do that. And then you can control them on your cell phone. And all they say is, hey, we reserve the right in the summer if we periodically, if we want to turn your air conditioner off, let's say, you know, in case their grid is pumping out too much electricity and they need to reduce some of that, they can monitor that during the summer and they can turn it on and off, regulate it a little bit, but you can override it too. So if you're in the summer and you start getting too hot, you notice that it's off, you can override their system, turn it back on. Okay? And so I don't know if their plate is going to be this wide or if it's going to be going up taller or something. I don't want to just cut around this and then get the new one out here and find out, oh shoot, now I've got to cut in the paint all the way around there. Okay, so, but I'm going to take all that stuff off, and here's where the washer and dryer is over here. It's getting kind of dark because I've been here most of the day, but in any case, I'll probably end up repainting all of this, and I don't know how I'm going to do it just yet. I thought I was just going to fish my pole down there, my mini weenie roller down there as far as I could, and I thought, nothing doing. I'll take the dryer out. I'll have to pop these doors off, pull the dryer out, disconnect it. That way I can paint this over here, and then I can slide the washing machine over this way, paint over there, slide the washing machine back, and then slide the dryer back in or something like that. I'll get all that, and there'll be things I'll have to readjust these bifold bypass doors. No, bifold doors. See how much of a gap there is up there? And it's almost rubbing the carpet here. It's just barely missing. So I know there's a little bottom goodie down over there, and I can raise it up. It's got a little screw threaded thing in there. You can tell how much this is down because see how this is kind of cocked at an angle? That's supposed to be straight up and down. And then that can be slid and adjusted, so I can adjust it and make this gap smaller, make the gap smaller down there. So there'll be different things. There'll be different things I have to do. Here's a little closet, and I'll be checking all these doors and frames, see what I have to do. Anything I have to do, I'll do it before I get ready to paint. Take the cover plates off, take that off. We're going to end up taking this off. I don't know why they have it here. A little shelf, so I've got to take that off. Any little holes in the walls, obviously, I'm going to have to patch. Here's just a little bit of a gouge I have to fix. I don't know what this is. It might be a hole that goes all the way through, and I'm not sure what that's for. I'll have to check that out. And then see any pictures that they have from before, and even marks like this. I'll have to clean those as best I can. If there's any marks left, I'll have to put kills on it when I get ready to prime and stuff. And so I'll walk through here, check all that kind of stuff out. Here's a ladder. It's like an attic access ladder. They got it right here in the master bedroom. And they didn't know where else to put it. So I've got to adjust that because it's kind of flopping around over here. I've already been up there. The water heater is up there, and the heating and air conditioning unit is up there. The condenser's up on the roof, but the heating unit is up in there, and there's a nice little storage area up there. So I thought that was kind of slick. Okay, and so I'll check that out. Before I get ready to paint, I was thinking, how on earth am I going to paint these? I don't know if I'm going to take these rails down. Definitely I'll take the shelves down, and the sides and stuff, and maybe I can take these down. I don't know, I might take everything down. I don't want to have to cut in all around all this stuff, you know. I want to do it right. I want to make it look good, and that's what I'm going to end up doing. Now see, this room here, this is the master bedroom, it's got a ceiling fan. Now this is the only light, or there's no light in here. All they had a bed here, and then they probably had nightstands on both sides. So one of these light switches over here controls the bottom portion of 2 of the electrical outlets, either over there or maybe it controls here. I don't know where they had their bed. Oh, I think they had the bed here, and then there was probably a long cabinet over there. So I think those are the 2 plugs that are controlled by this by the first light switch. Now I don't know if they controlled the bottom of those 2 plugs on a light switch too, in case they decided, okay, whichever way somebody wants to have a bed, they can. But it would be kind of slick if you had a room like this, and if you weren't quite sure, and if you had different options on setting up your room, because this is actually a pretty big room. If you wanted your bed coming out this way, you could have your light switch controlling the bottom 2, the bottoms of these duplex plugs. If you were remodeling, let's say, or building this from brand new. Same thing over here. You could do the same with the bottom accessed by the light switch. Same thing with those. But I have no idea how they did this. But then the second switch, I don't know what that's for. Actually, I think it's for the ceiling fan. And they probably have that on low. And the last switch, there's nothing for it. Now, in the old days, I say the old days, probably 15 years ago or more, they always had 2 switches here. One would be for the power for the ceiling fan, and one would be for the light. Okay, and that's probably what that other light switch is for. But nowadays they only have one. They only put one switch in, and with power going up. And then generally most ceiling fans nowadays, they come with the little remote control, and then you can hook it up in such a fashion you only need power in there in one place. You can just keep your light, you just keep your wall switch on the on position, and then you take your remote, and you've got a little sensor up there, and then you can do a light if you have a light kit, or the ceiling fan, or you know, the reverse, the forward, the high, medium, and low, all that good stuff, and the light. Now see, this has an area where you could put a light kit. And I'd have to see what brand it is and all that kind of stuff, and find out from Momi, hey, you want a light on here? Because like I say, you're only going to have 2 lights here unless you put another taller lamp over here, or if you have a dresser over here, you can put another lamp on top of the dresser, let's say, and that's all the light you have. But if you want more light, you can always get a kit for a ceiling fan, and sometimes you can get kits. Just buy the kit and put it on your ceiling fan, but you have to know what brand it is and all that kind of stuff. A lot of times you can just replace your ceiling fan. The ceiling fans don't cost that much nowadays. That ceiling fan right there is probably 125 bucks, and it would probably come with a light kit in case you wanted the light kit, yes or no, and it probably comes with your remote control. So for less than 200 bucks you could replace the whole ceiling fan if you wanted. And if you wanted it a little bit lower, you can get a different rod. You can get an extension rod that comes down 3 feet, 4 feet, whatever. And usually these ceiling fans are up about, I don't know, maybe 80 inches to the bottom or so. Like that, if that was on an 8-foot, 9-foot ceiling. Okay, this one has a cathedral ceiling, and so they put a little rod. I'm surprised they didn't make that extension rod a little bit longer, but either way. Okay, so here's a bathroom, And it's got a nice jacuzzi style tub, but here's a loose tile. I have to fix that tile. And this is pushed over too far. It should be slid. It should be slid over that way, and I'll have to kind of pull that apart. And this is just the front. This is a front cover that comes off. That way you can get to it and you can access this in case the motor goes out or if it starts leaking or whatever. And so this front cover pulls off, and it's probably got Velcro strips on there that I can pull, that I can loosen up the front edge and slide it over. That way I can fix that tile, re-glue it, and get some grout or some caulking. You can get caulking, you can get grout caulking at the hardware store, different colors of it, and you could use that for your caulking. Okay, and so when I paint, I'm going to take down all the towel bars. Like this one, there's only one towel bar, and then the towel ring. Towel ring's over here. What's that? Usually they have a towel ring. Oh, I see. Usually they'll have a towel ring right there, but see, there's a medicine cabinet here, and so you can't put a towel ring. You'd have to put the towel ring way over there. If you're at this sink, okay, yeah, that would be fine. But if you're over here, you got to run all the way over there for the towel. So maybe that's why they put the towel ring over here. Who knows? And maybe for extra storage, might get a little shelf unit here with a door or something on there to fit above there for more things. I could take that towel bar off, maybe use a longer one next time. This one's like less than 2 feet, 18 inches probably. I could probably get a 2.5 footer or something like that, and I can put two there. I can put one up higher and one down lower. Let's say for two sections of towels, and you got enough room for a towel and a washcloth, towel, washcloth. More so than just this, okay? Either way, I'm gonna pull that off, so I'll have to patch the sheetrock and that kind of stuff. And see, here's some pop-up valves. This is a little pop-up stopper. Ooh, okay. It's just not connected down there. And I look down there, and the whole thing is there. And this one's not connected either. Okay, but you know, all the parts are under here. Let's see where this one is. See, usually you're gonna have this coming down, and then you've got a little hook thing here that you can push this in and out, and then you've got that plunger rod there, and for some reason it's not working. I'll have to unscrew it and pull that out, and then push this down and figure out exactly where it is.